We now send you up to the booth and welcome in Steve Schwartz on play-by-play and John Coyne on color commentary.
It's November 17, 2018, and it is Championship Saturday here at Fitzpatrick Stadium, where the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans are taking on your Portland Bulldogs in the State Class A Championship. This is Steve Schwartz, WPPS TV3, first joined by Mike Hoffer from the Forecaster in the fifth quarter. Mike, let's talk a little bit about this juggernaut, Thornton Academy. They've got players that have scored 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns. They have about double the players of Portland. They have players that play really just one way, offensive players, defensive players, and they have Anthony Bracamonte.
They do, and they're an absolute juggernaut, as you said. They were the preseason favorite. They've lived up to it. They beat defending champion Scarborough twice decisively, including last week when they put up 53 against the Red Storm in the regional final. So Thornton Academy comes in here as a heavy favorite, and for good reason. And Anthony Bracamonte put on a show last week in the regional final. Only touched the ball 18 times, but managed 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, including a long kickoff return. So he's dangerous both on offense and on special teams. He's their big gun, but they can do a lot of things. They're going to mix things up. They don't throw the ball a lot. We might see them throw it a little bit more with Kobe Gaudette than they normally do today, but I don't think you'll see a lot of balls in the air. Isaac Ofilu has been their big back lately. He's certainly tough to bring down. He's maybe their version of Zach Elowich, if you will. You know, kind of the bigger bruising back. And the biggest thing with TA is their defense. They just don't give up points. Their first string defense has only given up a couple touchdowns all season. So it's going to be a very daunting task for Portland this afternoon.
Well, also joined today by John Kilbride, and John Gaudette actually does have 11 touchdowns that he's passed this year, 3 rushing as well. Not an easy task for the Bulldogs.
No, not at all. I mean, the closest anyone's ever come to Thornton is within 20 points. The Bulldogs, it's like taking on the Patriots. You've got to come in with a different look. I think they're going to take Elowich right out of the game early. They've got to get the passing game going, something that Portland's not used to doing. If we can get a big day from Ben Stasium and Sammy Knope throwing that ball downfield, that's the only hope they really have to get some points up on this team. Maybe put them behind by a score. See how they respond. They've never been behind. They've always, the closest anyone comes is 20 points. So I think it's just like playing the Patriots when you've got to come in here and mix it up against this team to have a shot at them.
Folks, Thornton Academy has outscored its opponents 505-76 this year. It's truly a David versus Goliath matchup, and we're going to bring you all of the action in a moment. So here come the Portland Bulldogs ready to trudge through the banner. We're here to win the Trojan War. The cheerleaders are holding up the banner. To the left of them are the Thornton cheerleaders who are getting ready to, have their team come through. Thornton is the home team today. So we, on this side of the field, are amongst Thornton fans, many of whom, John, seem to think that they're here to anoint their team.
Yeah, no.
And maybe with good reason.
Well, Thornton just they're a powerhouse team, a lot of players. They've got a lot of money behind them. Earlier on when they were warming up, we looked like they were Boston College out there. I think they suited 80 players, and no one's come close to them this year, Steve. I think the closest, as we said earlier, was 20 points. And there's their banner right there. I think Thornton's so tough right now, they made that out of linen.
Our really big team needs some really big rings. So they have come to play, no question. Their band is here today.
That's a big entourage. It's going to take them 20 minutes just to get through that sign. There's so many of them.
There really are. There are double the players that Portland has. They just have incredible depth on their team. And they are ready. They're led by number 25, Eli Arsenault, coming through first, and number 21, Anthony Bracamonte, as you would expect. And we'll be back with the action in a moment.
By the Maine Principals Association. The MPA would like to thank the Portland Public Works Department for their work in readying the stadium for today's championship play. We would request that throughout the game there be no throwing of snowballs. Today's teams: the Northern Maine champions with a record of 9 wins and 1 loss, the Bulldogs of Portland High School. And the Southern Maine champions with a record of 10 wins and no losses, the Golden Trojans of Thornton. The spotter for the announcer and today's musical coordinator is Rich Peterson. Today's officiating crew: on the chains are Larry Turner, Steve Delcourt, Bob Bouthot, and Phil Smith. The timer is Brian Wade, and the assistant timer is Steve Rocha. Today's championship officials: referee Fred Labonte, umpire Mike Hopkins, linesman Pat Caston, line judge Jamie White, field judge Tony Gold, side judge Steve Descatio, and back judge Bob Brown. Introducing on the far side of the field, with a record of 9 wins and 1 loss, head coach Jim Hartman, his staff, and the 2018 Portland High School football squad. And introducing on the near side of the field, with a record of 10 wins and no losses, head coach Kevin Kiesel, his staff, and the 2018 Thornton Academy Golden Trojans football squad. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we would ask you to please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem. The anthem will be played today by the Thornton Academy Band under the directorship of Jennifer Witherell Stebbins.
So the meeting of the captains at center of the field: Koa Farnsworth, Zach Elowich, Ben Stasium, and Ben Levine. And then Athan Geekus for Thornton Academy. And number 83 is Ethan Logan. Number 52 is Ian Patry. And number 21 is Anthony Bracamonte. So there you have it, folks. The meeting of the captains. And Thornton, it looks like, is going to receive the ball. So if experience serves, Portland won the toss and deferred.
They did. Yep.
And they did. So Christo Vumpa with a very, very short kick to the 30, perhaps by design, as it was picked up by a sure hands player, number 40, Derek Medor, linebacker, and a fullback. And so it'll be 1st and 10 on the 37-yard line of Thornton Academy. So avoiding the deep men who have run it back for myriad touchdowns this year.
Absolutely. We talked about this. Coach Hartman has to make adjustments. They cannot take this powerhouse team on the same way they've taken other teams on earlier in the season.
Gaudette's in the gun and straight up the middle, running into a Portland High School juggernaut of defensive players led by Cam Conley and Grant Jacobson. It was a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd and 9. You know, Portland's defense, of course, has been no slouch this year, John.
No, that big front line, this is going to be a test for them right now, and they're off to a good start with that quick stop. But again, Steve, they're playing they're playing 2 games compared to the Trojans here, with players going both ways. See how they hold out.
Right, and that's the 2nd carry in a row, I believe, for Braca Monti. And he may have been taken for a loss there. We'll see. I guess they're going to spot it about another yard. So it'll be 3rd and 8.
Great penetration by Jacobson, filling that hole and wrapping him up before he could get through.
And that was actually Opheliu, number 28, with that carry. So we'll try to hone in on these players here. Put the binoculars on. Back to throw is Gaudette. Oh, my goodness. What a catch by Braca Monti. It is a touchdown. It's a 61-yard touchdown pass to start the game, and Thornton just comes out throwing and rocking it.
It is a flag back at the 30. They're talking with the Trojans right now. This could be against Portland. All the teams are moving down there, but spectacular throw and catch. And I actually thought, Steve, that was going to be over his head. He made great adjustments on that to bring that down.
And Braca Monti was just spread out and really sprawled out and caught that. And now the kicker is Brady Forbes. No slouch. He's got over 63 PATs this year.
Yeah,
63, John.
No, it's the best of the best out here today, and that's just real tough for the Bulldogs. You know, great stops there. They held them to 2 yards on a 3rd down, and to give up that big touchdown play. Expected on the sidelines over here, but not on the Portland side.
Forbes has missed about 7 of them this year. He's had a few blocked even. This time, though, he's going to be through the uprights. It's going to be 7-0. The Dogs will receive here in just a moment. So good man-to-man coverage there, but you wonder if the game plan was something else in terms of...
Yeah, I got to believe that they were doubling him, and he's got to take that.
So Stasium tried to down it in the end zone, but he picked it up on the 1.
Yeah.
And they're going to have Portland ball on the 1-yard line.
It's a tough start for the Bulldogs. And we know TA is an excellent ball club, and to give them a start like this could be detrimental to them.
So the ball never went in the end zone, and so that's why there's no safety. But it's 1st and 10 Dogs. Sam Knope deep in the end zone, and he's out. Oh, it's knocked down. Great defensive play by number 87, Daniel Tarbox.
Yeah, that was intended for Jacobson rolling out on the right-hand side, and you know, the size of these players, Steve, for Thornton, something that the Bulldogs haven't seen, and sure, Sammy Knope haven't seen all year long. So when they extend those arms up there, he's got to get it out there.
So he's in a running set. Elowich barely gets it out. Helped up by number 52, Ian Patry. Just heard from our friend Big John Webb, whose son Jackie Moon Webb played for Thornton last year. You talk about size. Jackie Moon, 6'5", 310 pounds, and a starter for Sacred Heart, Division I in his first year. It's going to be 3rd and 9 for the Dogs. And back to throw is Knope. He's got Stasium and almost intercepted by number 25, Eli Arsenault. Now, you know, Steve Craig from the Press Herald did a piece on this game and what the Dogs are going to have to do, and he spoke about how they're really going to need to pass their way out of this because Thornton is so strong on the run. Of course, you know, when you're back that far, you hope you can just get it out a little bit, and of course Thornton now is going to start with tremendous field position with their second possession. Here's Elowich kicking from the end zone, and it's picked up at the 35-yard line by Braca Monti. He's got another punt return for a touchdown, a 35-yard punt return for Braca Monti. And he has been there before this year. He has 4 punt returns for touchdowns, including a 53-yarder and a 66-yarder against Massabesic, or Wyndham rather. But here you go, folks.
Well, you know, on that play right there, Steve, no rush by the Trojans. They knew they had great ball position. They were setting up that play for that run, and great blocking out in front. That whole right side, they put a line up, and he had a clear shot to the end zone, uncontested.
So Forbes set to kick off. Taken by Stasium at the 10. It's fumbled. Picks it up and is just brought down for a hard loss. I mean, it does get the gain there, but a monster hit by Cole Paulin and company. The Dogs will take over 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. You know, if they're going to do it, I mean, Sam Knope has some decent passes this year. He's got some passing touchdowns. But, you know, the running has brought them here. And you have to wonder what's going to happen here in this game.
Yeah, he's going to have to roll out on his passes. He's not that tall, and these are big linemen up front. He's going to have to roll out if he wants to connect those.
Yeah, so the direct snap is to Knope, but again, just a swarming Thornton defense led by number 30 that time, Artu Topola. Just look at the line of Thornton players on the sidelines compared to Portland's, and you can see what's happening. It's 1 yard there. It's going to be a 2nd and 9. As Knope is in the gun. And he throws an interception to number 29, Grant Dow. And folks, not the start that Portland High School had expected.
No, just TA really prepared for him. They're running with man coverage. They're putting on the rush, forcing that pass, sitting back, and he had a great jump on that. And Knope was short on his throw, right into the arms of TA.
Goddett is in the gun. The ball is on the 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The jet sweep to Braca. Monti finds room on the outside, finally chased down all the way on the other side of the field by Ben Stasium. You can see the snow on the ground throughout the field. There's probably about half a foot of snow here that fell. So it'll be 2nd and 5. Ball is on the 21. Goddett in the gun. Straight up the middle. Is Ophelio, brought down by Grant, Jacobson, and Ben Levine. So it's 1st down, Thornton Academy. Ball is on the 16-yard line. Monti takes the ball. A great move, and Ben Levine not fooled and brings him down. Saves a touchdown, as there was a clear sailing from there.
Yeah, nice counter play, reverse play, and picks up 6 yards. I haven't seen him all year, Steve. He is incredible with the quick feet and breaking tackles and very elusive.
Well, we have Dave Levine on statistics today, and he's going to be busy. Ophelio is, there's a fumble.
That's
covered by Cam Conley. Let's see, he brought on the fumble, but it's going to be Thornton ball. It'll be 1st and goal, ball on the 6-yard line. So they turn a fumble into a 1st down, and that's what Thornton does. Bracamonte up the middle, and he is brought down just shy of the goal line by Jamal Mariba and Grant Jacobson. 2nd and goal from the 1 for Thornton Academy to make it an even 20. And Bracamonte is in for the touchdown, the 1-yard touchdown. Let's see if that's Bracamonte. I think it's
Arsenal, I think.
Eli Arsenal, 25.
Yeah, they brought in their big package on that. They've got so many looks and so many players. It's real difficult to defend against this team.
Well, they have so many different tools. So many weapons. And that is good, and it is 21-0, Thornton Academy, with 5:44 left in the 1st quarter. So, looks like the Dogs will take over here on the 25.5-yard line in just a moment. Here we go, folks. 1st and 10, Dogs. So Elowich gets the ball and doesn't questions whether he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
Stopped by the center of the Thornton Academy line. The first contact by Ian
Patry, number 1 in on that. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Ball still on the 26. And the pitch will come to Elowich, who tries to find a hole, is just completely enveloped. Number 1 in on that tackle was number 83, Athan Logan. I mean, we're just calling out 60 names on this roster, 65 names. Another player makes a play.
Yeah, it's the next man up. They just, a lot of resources, and folks are hearing that throughout this game, and it's just something that we're not accustomed to seeing all year long as a team of this caliber up here, and we knew that they would be keying on Zach Elowich, and that's Portland. That's where they go to Zach Elowich, and they take him out of the game. That's it, and they got to get the ball up in the air.
Rolling right is Knope, and he was absolutely crushed by Thomas Palmer, number 33. So the Dogs will punt after the 3-yard gain earlier by Elowich. Regardless of what happens today, this will not be the last game of the year for the Bulldogs, as they do have the Thanksgiving game classic. It'll be about the 103rd, I believe, of it. A little bit more, maybe even 105, but we'll check that. But earlier this year, first game of the year, well, the ball was downed on that. They're going to say that Elowich downed it when his knee was not down. And that is a very, very unfortunate call. They're going to say that he downed the ball. So
nothing really going the Bulldogs' way right out of the gate. They've got to find something. They've got to stop him right here. Maybe they could just work on that, just stop the TA from punching it in. But
First and 10 from the 20. I just want to say that Thornton Academy in their first game of the year beat Deering 70-0 in an absolute rout. And it looks like they're on their way to handily taking care of another Portland team unless things turn around in a hurry. Gaudette with the fake. Nice defensive play by Zach Elowich, who is disappointed that he didn't get the interception, but still a great play as the slant was being run by Opheliu.
Opheliu had a couple steps on him. Elowich aware of it. Man coverage. Didn't buy the fake and able to get a hand on it. He's upset with himself that he didn't make a pick. And they could have used that right about now. Just give him something.
2nd and 10, ball on the 20. Straight up the middle. Grant Jacobson on the tackle of Opheliu. Couple yard gain. Oh, excuse me, it's a little bit more, and it's now, of course, 1st and goal on the 8. On that carry. Feel you on the right. There's a flag on the play. He gets in, but we'll see what the call is, as it looks like it was thrown at the Thornton line. Now we have a hold on Thornton. So the ball will come back 10 yards, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 18.
where the Golden Trojans will have first and goal.
Stands here are just filled with former Thornton players, proudly wearing their jackets. Braca Monti on the right side is brought down by Jonah Green and also Ben Trefethan.
By 7, Ben Trefethan, with help from 65, Jonah Green. No gain on the play.
So it'll be a second and goal from the 18 now.
Second and goal from the Portland's 18-yard line.
In the gun is Gaudette. To the right side. And out of bounds.
Yeah, a couple good plays by Jonah Green, reading that pass play and staying out there, not getting sucked in.
That was Athan Geekus who caught the ball. So it's third and goal from the 18 now.
You know, Steve, this is big. I know there are 3 scores behind, but you do not want to push yourself to that 35-point piece because you get that running clock, and that just really takes you out of this game fast.
Well, there's going to be a timeout right now with the score 21-0. Thornton ahead of the Dogs with 2:25 left in the first quarter. So, third and goal from the 18. Thornton's been here before, needing long yardage. And let's see what that is. Whatever it is, Thornton's going to come back.
For formation?
You know, we have some officials right next to us who don't know what that is.
Yeah, they
Sideline warning.
sideline warning.
Okay. Sideline warning. And the ball does not come back, so it's still third and goal from the 18. Gaudette straight over the middle. Oh my gosh, in and out of the hands of Braca Monti. Boy, they are a crisp team, John.
Yeah, the accuracy, and he's double coverage, and he almost grabbed that ball. And he's not a tall kid, just athletic, and
So it's fourth and goal from the 18, and you know it's certainly fourth down territory here for the Trojans.
Oh, absolutely. You know, the Bulldogs can't stop them, and they're stopping the Bulldogs. Why would you go for it?
It's a low-risk proposition with a 21-point lead. And Portland will take a timeout here. Oh. So it's timeout with 2:20 left in the first quarter. 21-0 is the score. Dogs are trailing. So here we go. Gaudette back to throw, and he is sacked by Koa Farnsworth, the Class A North Lineman of the Year. Brought back all the way to about the 30-yard line. So a 12-yard loss. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Dogs.
Yeah, nice to see a little energy in the Bulldogs side with that penetration by Farnsworth, setting him up in good field position, plenty of time on the clock. Let's start putting a drive together. Start finding out what works. We know they're keying up on Elowich and shutting him down. Maybe someone else can step up.
That's a direct snap to Zach Elowich, but we're going to have it looks like we're going to have a motion penalty here. We'll see.
It's against the Bulldogs, and this is what happened. They're trying to take any advantage they can against this Thornton team. They're in their head. They're trying to get that quick jump, and sets them right back before they can get going.
And Elowich just absolutely manhandled. That time by Topola again. Palmer in on it as well. So that's a 5-yard loss. Oh. Or actually a no gain. It'll be a 2nd and 15. Ball on the 24. Elowich with the direct snap to him, and he just bulls his way up. Gains about 6, but not going to be enough. He's going to have to get ready to punt now. Let's see, is it about an 8-yard gain? It's 3rd down and 7, actually. Getting a 1st down now would be a great morale booster for the Dogs. But Elowich is stopped short by Athan Geekus. So with 28 seconds left here in the first quarter, Zach Elowich is going to punt.
Athan Geekus is deep with the undercover.
End over end. Takes a little bit of a Portland bounce, and Thornton will start on their own 21-yard line when we come back with 1.5 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Gaudette now on the 21. The jet sweep, and not fooled that time is Ben Trefethen, as he will bring Braca Monti down for a loss.
Big play by the Bulldogs by Trefethen. He's been quiet up until this point, and that's the penetration you wanted to see.
So it'll be 2nd down and 15 when we come back. The end of the first quarter. Portland Bulldogs at nothing, and the Golden Trojans of Thornton Academy have 21. So it's here we go now. It'll be 2nd and 16 from the 15, from the 16, and nice play there again by Ben Levine and Ben Trefethen. I was talking with one of the Thornton parents earlier, and who said that he is actually quite concerned about Ben Trefethen and his ability to be anywhere on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a strong, aggressive player, and we saw that just before the first quarter, making that big tackle in the backfield.
So it was a 2-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and 14, and Jonah Green is putting pressure on Gaudette. He just goes, oh my goodness. And he is tackled way, way out of bounds. And we're going to see if there's going to be a flag there, as a lot of frustration on the part of Chris Vincent. If they don't throw the flag, then perhaps they're going to say that he was could have hit that snow and kept going, but that was a very late hit out of bounds by a Portland player.
And I kind of felt there should have been a flag on that, Stephen. These are the things where you can't do as the Bulldogs. The frustration builds, and great stop. You've got them pinned. It's 4th down, and you give up a big penalty. They're lucky they got away with that one right there, but they've got to have some discipline, especially these big plays. And this is going to put them in some good field position right here.
So Stasium is deep. We have a delay of game against Thornton, so they'll be backed up a little bit further as their punter is Grant Dow, number 29. A low kick. And it's going to travel all the way to about the 30. Oh my goodness. All the way to the 37.5-yard line.
TA knowing how Stasium operates, keeping out of his hands and going to the right of him and getting a good bounce.
Here's Gary Stevens, the athletic director of Thornton Academy, in the sunglasses down there. A great person who gives us great accommodations when we go down to Paul D. Hill Stadium and cover their games, or when we're in their basketball arena as well. We have a motion penalty against the Dogs. So they'll be moved back 5, where it'll be 1st and 15. From about the 28-yard line.
It seems like they got some timing issues on that direct snap to Elowich, Steve, when they're running that play.
Yeah, I mean the 33-yard line here, which is where the Dogs are, but pinned back pretty far, I must say. That Thornton was in punting from really far back in their own territory, and another flag.
The ball was loose. Recovered by Knope.
Well, it was a fumble recovered by Sam Knope. Another loss. 1 yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 16. The ball on the 32. The pitch is to Elowich on the right side, and oh my gosh, he runs into a wall of a person. And that is, it looks like it's number 29, Grant Dow, their punter as well.
Yeah, Elowich just stood right up after about a 3-yard gain.
Well, it's going to be 3rd and 15. They're going to give him credit for about 1 yard only here. So it's going to be 3rd and 15 on the 33. Elowich gets the carry on the right side. It's going to be a foot race, and he is going to score a monster touchdown. It's a 67-yard touchdown run by Zach Elowich.
Yeah, just what the Bulldogs needed, a shot in the arm and get Elowich running with the ball. They've been probing that direct snap to Elowich the last 6 or 7 plays, and it finally delivered. And once he got himself downhill, he's got overwhelming speed.
Here comes Vumpa to try to make it a 14-point deficit. It's up and it's through. He has not missed an extra point all year. I think that's in the vicinity of 52. It's 21-7 with 9.5 minutes left in the first half.
There you go.
Yep, perfect. Good.
Here we go. So it's the short man up that picks it up, which will be number 39, Costa Geekus. He'll get a short return. And Thornton will have the ball, and of course they'll have an eye towards getting it back. Even had Portland not scored, we were going to speak about a small victory in Thornton having in terms of 10 minutes without Thornton scoring.
Yeah, exactly. And this is just, I'm just happy for the Bulldogs. They needed a big play like this. Get them back in the game. They're only 2 scores behind. Let's see if the defense can deliver here and do a 3-and-out.
There's a fumble, and it is recovered by Portland. Chris Vincent. So he could have got the penalty and he didn't, but he redeemed himself in any event.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just like that, the Dogs now have the ball 1st and 10 on the 31.
And what a change being on the Thornton side, Steve. The energy level. They're ahead by 2 scores right now, but they're used to obviously dominating, and they were heading to 40 points. And you can just feel the energy being sucked out on this side of the field.
Well, this is a championship game. The Dogs are 9-1 this year. So let's see what the call is. You've been speaking about the fact, John, that Portland is not firing that direct snap to Zach Elowich. They've had a penalty on it almost every time.
Yeah. And it's the movement. They haven't got it down. Elowich is maybe moving ahead a step before the snap. They see a lot. They're seeing opportunities with this play from the box because they're going back to it, but they can't get their timing down on it.
Well, it's going to be 1st and 15 with the ball on the 36. So hopefully the Dogs don't shoot themselves in the foot here. They have good field position. So it's a very interesting setup. The call is Elowich is just standing there as the quarterback.
Yeah,
in the gun.
Right, and he's waiting for the block to develop, but TA's going to make adjustments on this. You just can't go back to it. You got to get your passing game going, do some play action, some short passes, get some successes going in the passing game, and start mixing this up for the defense for Thornton Academy, because they're going to shut that down if you keep going back to it.
Well, Knope lines up as receiver. And here's Elowich again. He goes right up the middle, and he's just going to get swarmed again by a plethora of Golden Trojans. He had gained 1 yard on the last carry. That time it's a 2-yard gain, and it becomes 3rd and 12 with the ball on the 33.
They really need to get this first down to get it going. This was a golden opportunity on their turnover to get this down there and try to get a score and to set this team back a little bit.
Thornton is not fooled by this look. And the other thing that of note is that the best play from scrimmage was when Elowich went outside and found some daylight.
Yeah, absolutely. They know he's running. They know he's running to the right side. They're going to bring everybody up. I don't know if they've got a pass play in the books with this where Elowich just drops back and throws it, or they're doing this to set that up.
No, they're going to try to put Thornton deep into its territory here. 4th and 12, and Zach Elowich is going to go ahead and punt. And it's a short kick that takes a Portland bounce and rolls out of bounds at about the 10. Actually, they'll have it at, they'll have it at about the 14-yard line is where they're going to spot it. But the Trojans are backed up kind of far. There's 7:14 left. 21-7 is the score. The Golden Trojans in front. So now Gaudette in the gun. Up the middle. To number 28. Isaac Ophiliu. It's a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 19. Here comes Braca Monti on the left side. He's got a block. Stasium saves the touchdown, and brings him down at the 45-yard line. About a 35-yard gain for Braca Monti.
Yeah, nobody on that edge. TA doing a good job collapsing that edge and giving him that, and you could see that develop. He was going to get quite a few yards on that. There was nobody around him, and if it wasn't for the speed of Stasium picking up and grabbing him, he would have been gone.
So now 1st and 10 from the 45. Braca Monti goes left. And again, about a 17-yard gain. Ball on the 29 now, 1st and 10, Golden Trojans. So Braca Monti does it from the left, he does it from the right, does it up the middle, does it with punt returns.
Great speed, and they're just collapsing that edge on Portland, and Bulldogs really not doing a good job setting it and giving him free run.
The Dogs seem to have made it more of a game as Ophelio comes up the middle and is brought down by Kaponga first, followed by Ben Levine, and Cam Conley gets the 5-yard carry. So the ball's on the 24. 2nd and 5. Filu up the middle, and he gets all the way down to about the 2, where he is brought down by Jamal Mariba, who saves the touchdown. But that's the best that's going to happen, as it's going to be 1st and goal from the 2.
Just a powerhouse of a run, just shredding the tacklers from the Bulldogs.
Great clock management here as well, as there's 5 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first half. Gaudette will give it to number 33, Thomas Palmer, and he will run it in from the 2. So the Golden Trojans get that touchdown back. Here comes Forbes, set to try to make it a 28-7 lead. False start by Thornton. They have several two-point conversions this year, including Braca Monti in the game against Scarborough in the playoff game, where they really, they frankly annihilated Scarborough, which is probably the second best Class A team in the state. It's up, and it is good, and it is 28-7 with 5:11 left in the first half. Golden Trojans in front. It's a long line drive kick. That time it's going to roll into the end zone. It will be a touchback. No time off the clock. 1st and 10, Dogs coming up. So 1st and 10, Knope is now behind center in the gun, and he's back to throw over the head of Grant Jacobson. So it'll be 2nd and 10, Dogs from their own 20. The cheerleaders from the Trojans are throwing things into the stands like it's a pro game. Now let's see, there might be a fumble. We'll take a look. It'll be Portland ball.
Recovered by Portland. Will be on the play.
3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10. From their own 20-yard line.
Portland just not executing simple things that they've done fairly well all year, John.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Their timing is not there. Sammy Knope having a difficult time getting the ball out to his receivers. Not crazy rush on them, but their whole timing of the offense is just not there today. Seeing a lot of jumps, a lot of miscues.
And we're going to have a
delay of game. So just what we were just talking about. Just a lot of timing things going on, and as we're talking about, they get a delay of game. So.
So Mariba carries it not very far.
Yeah, so, 3rd and long, Steve, and they run it to the right side to Mariba. That's just telling me that they're giving up on the passing game, that, they're deep down here and they just don't trust that they can get out where they want to get it, and just setting up a punt.
Well, Elowich will punt from his 10. Fair caught by Braca Monti in Portland territory on the 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Thornton with 3:30 left in the first half. There is a flag on the play. And it's an illegal shift against the Dogs. So they'll repunt the ball, this time from the 13.
The penalty moves the ball down to the 13-yard line.
Oh my gosh, close. There's going to be a flag running into the kicker. But we'll see here as Braca Monti's got the ball on the right side. Vincent goes down. That's a block in the back, not called. And
that's all for nothing right there.
Right, as we're going to have a roughing the kicker penalty, but there was also a block in the back that we've seen plays called where there wasn't one, where there's a phantom block in the back, it seems to me. But this time, the referee did not see that.
And every fan on this side never put their hand together when he was running into the end zone. They knew that was coming back.
And we have an injured dog right now, and let's see, it looks like Koa Farnsworth, as Ryan Lucas will go over to the corner of the end zone and check him out. And we'll be back in a moment with 3:17 left in the first half. So you can see Koa Farnsworth walking off gingerly with trainer Ryan Lucas, and now what's going to happen is it's a 5-yard penalty the other way, and now Zach Elowich for the 3rd time on this possession will punt. And it went off a Thornton player. This should be Portland ball, and they're calling it Portland ball. Thornton ball. I'm not really understanding that. Well, there's going to be a conference of officials. It hits the Thornton player and then is down by a Portland player.
Yeah, and everyone on this side, even the TA fans are seeing that, except the 7 or 8 officials that are on the field. And I understand they're watching their particular areas.
And the only thing that they're going to... But of course, there's a flag that's been thrown based on what must have been an unsportsmanlike down there, as they say something to the referee about their prowess for seeing a play. But if things are right here, it should be Portland ball, and it should be perhaps an unsportsmanlike after that. But we'll see what the call is here. At some point, we'll see. So it looks like it's penalty against the Dogs, 2 penalties against the Dogs, and 2 penalties against the Dogs, and
they lose the football. This is just how it's been flying for them today.
Yeah, I mean, we honestly, folks, we do our level best to show respect. We don't. There must be something that's happening down there that we just don't understand. So it is going to be Portland ball. Well, wait a minute. It's a 30-yard penalty. And there's going to be a timeout TA. We'll take a break, too. So now what happened is the Dogs get the ball. Elowich with the he fumbled, and it's going to be Thornton's ball. After all that, they were brought back by 30 yards, 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. You know that they were frustrated, John, because of the non-call. The referees conference, they get it right, but they give them a 30-yard penalty, and then this.
Yeah, it's extremely colorful game right now, and all this back and forth, and I think we're back to the square one, right? We're back with TA in really good field position with 3 minutes remaining in the half, and the frustrations we're starting to see coming from the Bulldogs side, Steve, and it's costly.
Play action, and wide open is number 40, Derek Medor, as they really spread it out. A 22-yard touchdown reception for Medor.
Yeah, he just, the pressure was then, the Bulldogs were blitzing. He just threw it up there, and the Stasium didn't pick him up, or the safety got sucked down in, and they never picked him up, and he was wide open.
Well, they say the cheerleaders sing the Thornton Academy fight song after every touchdown. I'm afraid that we're getting to know that song a little too well today, John.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, we are, Steve. They're good at it. The cheerleaders are wonderful for TA, and the band is absolutely amazing, but that's not the music we want to hear.
No, sir. Just under 3 minutes left here in the first half. 35-7 is the score. The ball will drop in front of Stasium. He'll pick it up at the 9. Try to go the other way, and then just stop and look to cut. And gets clobbered by Costa Geekus. So we've said the names Geekus quite a bit today, as Athan, Geekus, and Costa.
That's a big family name.
Yeah, it is. Number 12 and number 39, we know their dad, Tim, who was a Deering High School stalwart, two-way wideout and defensive back for the Rams.
Yeah, absolutely. And very successful business. The whole family and some, Eddie's Variety for years, Steve, I think.
That's right.
And
so a Portland connection. 1st and 10. Ball on the 14. Elowich to the outside. And what a great tackle in the open field there by Geekus.
Yeah, it does a great job in sealing the edge and containing Elowich, which is a handful. And he was able to take him on one-on-one and drop him for just a gain of 1. And if he didn't, Elowich Could have turned upfield for a good 10, 15 yards.
Instead, it is the loss. It's the gain of 1, and it'll be a 2nd down and 9 with the ball on the 15. Elowich comes up the middle and gains about 6, maybe 5.
The defensive play by Thornton Academy's Ian Patry.
Patry with the tackle. Looking at some of the Thornton players on the sideline, they're just having way too much fun here today, John, and you can see why.
Well, that's all they've had all year, Steve. They're beating everyone by 3 or 4 touchdowns, and it's been nothing but fun for them. And looking up the scoreboard, 35-7, they're on the road for another state championship.
3rd and 4, ball on the 20. Elowich gets the 1st down as he brings it up to about the 28-yard line or so. Gets an 8-yard carry there, and it'll be ball be spotted on the 29, so 9 yards, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the 29. There's 1:11 left. There's enough time for the Dogs to get something together here. They have 2 timeouts left. Elowich fighting and gets forward progress for about a 6-yard carry. The ball will be spotted, maybe even a 7-yard carry. As
I mean, with just 30 seconds left, Steve, they've really given up their passing game. They're sticking with Elowich now on this direct snap, and TA's going to set up a defense on that and bring the linebackers in and eventually shut this down unless they start mixing this up a little bit.
I mean, and there's only 15 seconds left, so that really ticked off pretty quickly. I don't think the Dogs are planning on doing much here, as they'll just give it to Elowich. Hurdles over one, hurdles over another, but is brought down after a 7-yard gain, and that'll, they do call a timeout, it looks like, with 3.5 seconds left in the half here. And they're not going to call the timeout, they're just going to let the time expire. 35-7 is the score. One more score in the second half here, and we will be on running time. So here with Mike Hoffer and John. Mike, you've been down on the field today. We're interested in knowing what the atmosphere is like down there. Let me tell you, 172 total yards so far, or thereabouts, for Thornton. 130 for the Bulldogs, but that clearly does not tell the story of this game.
No, and half of Portland's yards came on the one Elowich run. You couldn't have asked for a worse start if you're on the Portland sideline, or if you're a Portland fan. You had the mess up on the kickoff, you had the taking a knee on a punt, you've had back-to-back personal fouls, and with all of that, it's a 21-7 game. Portland recovers a fumble in TA territory. It seemed like they could get right back in this game. Didn't happen, and now TA firmly in control. Surprisingly, the Portland sideline they've been able to keep their chins up. A lot of the guys are sending positive messages. Coaches are trying to keep the kids involved and engaged, and right now it's just it's a point of pride and character. You don't want to lose this game 70-7. So how the team going to play in the second half? You hope they continue to fight, and who knows, get a touchdown back and maybe make things interesting. But certainly a tough start and a tough finish to the first half for the Bulldogs.
And John, penalties all year. We've been talking about them. That double unsportsmanlike in the end there. You could certainly understand the frustration, but you really have to hold your peace, don't you?
Yeah, it's always been a struggle for them, and it's a frustrating game for them. I get it, and Mike is absolutely right. They've had some tough breaks early on, but you go back in that locker room. For me, I would try to work on getting other players involved. They're going to keep on Zelowich. Try to get the passing game back again. Get some short passes going. Get Stasium running downfield and play disciplined football. Don't let the emotions get to you. Everybody knows this is an outstanding team, but try to chip away at it pieces at a time and play disciplined football. Go out there and play your game. Get other players involved, and try to get that passing game back a little bit. Just the short passes.
What do you think, Mike, about the direct snaps that Elowich has been taking? A little bit of success, but overall, it seems like Thornton has that number.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many things I think they can try. It was a nice wrinkle, and it worked early on, especially when you get Kapongo out there, leading the running play. The play that Elowich broke, he had him as his escort. I think they just feel like they have to try different things. Early on the passing game certainly didn't work. The couple of times they tried that. I'd like to see Mariba get the ball a few times. I think he only carried it once in the first half. Maybe he can make something happen. But they've lived and died all season with number 24 leading the way. He deserves to get the ball the majority of times today. And I don't think Portland has that many things they can really do. So you got to dance with the girl you brought.
Well, folks, Zach Elowich, of course, has that really important 67-yard touchdown run, which did account for most of Portland's offense. Anthony Bracamonte, on the other hand, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he is a force to be reckoned with.
He really is, and he's fun to watch. You give him any amount of space, he's going to go. He also had that punt return called back. It would have been another touchdown for him. So he's just as deadly on the special teams as he is running the football, and he doesn't even carry it that much. I mean, he's not like he's getting 20, 30 carries a game, but every time he touches it, he's a threat to go to the house for sure.
Well, Mike, we want to take an opportunity to thank you very much for being with us all year, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you during the basketball season as well. And best wishes to you for the holiday coming up. John and I will be with you with second half action right in a moment. So we are back for second half action as Mr. Forbes gets set to kick off. Ben Stasium will pick it up at the 7. And he'll bring it up to about the 32-yard line. Be spotted at the 33. But a 28-yard return for Ben Stasium. I'm sorry, the ball's at the 28. But a 20-yard return for Stasium, and ball will be 1st and 10. Elowich with some positive yardage, a 5-yard carry. They're going to give him credit for 6 yards. 2nd and 4 from the 34. Elowich again with the direct snap. Goes through for the first down. And cannot get past Athan Geekus, who saved the touchdown.
Yeah, Kapunga, they've got him back there as a lead blocker, Steve, and he just annihilates a linebacker coming in, not putting him right on his backside and opening that up for Elowich.
So it's a 15-yard gain for Elowich. It's 1st and 10 on the 49. And this time he'll fight for about another 6.
And you look at that develop, Steve Kapunga. They're going. He's leading the way, and he's like a Mack truck coming through there. They're running out of the way like squirrels.
On the 5-yard gain, it's 2nd and 5.
There's a lot of squirrels this year, Steve.
A lot of them got flattened, too. And it looks like that's what just happened to Zach Elowich as he was enveloped by a number of Trojans, but the credit for that tackle goes to Ian Patry, who's had a great game today defensively for the Trojans on a 1-yard gain. And again, they're going to give a 2-yard credit, so we're just off by a yard here. It's going to be 3rd and 3 from the 42. The blitz was on. You could see the back man coming up. It's very, very close to a first down.
Yeah, they pushed the blitz that time, and Kabunga is able to stand up the linebacker, shoot in the gap, and just giving Elowich a couple more seconds to get it to the first down.
But a 3-yard gain for the first down. So a Portland first down. Portland moving the ball methodically. 1st and 10 on the 39 of Thornton Academy. See, just everybody in on that. The first person in is a giant.
Yeah,
that's number 64, Tanner Len, 6 feet, 240.
Yeah, those linebackers, they keep going to this. They're creeping up. They've got to come in with a play action or mix this up a little bit. I don't know if Zach can throw it downfield, but you're going to see them lined right up here.
Well, they have Knope lining up wide left, but there's Elowich running through a hole that developed for him. Three-yard carry. It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 36. Depending on what happens here, we're certainly in 4-down territory for the Dogs, and at this stage of the game with nothing to lose, 8:14 left in the third quarter here, and down by 28 points.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you look at Kabunga, he's tired. He's got his hands on his hips. He's running the same play Elowich is, and he's out front.
It looks like it might be an offsides on Thornton Academy. At least that's the way the Portland players see it. You know what you like to do is not see the Portland players crowding around the refs.
And nothing good comes to that, does it? Usually 15 yards.
Yeah, and it's going to be a 5-yard motion penalty against the Dogs. It's good to clear out and not speak your mind sometimes.
That doesn't sound like words coming from you, though.
Even I know when to fold them.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just doesn't happen often. 3rd and 12, ball in the 41. Still Elowich in the gun, taking the direct snap at running back. And again, another flag in the backfield.
Yeah, Knope jumping on the left-hand side, spread out wide.
Well, doing things that he's not familiar with, really.
Yeah, this looks like something, obviously a scheme they put together this week just for this team. Trying to find some things that can work for him. And they've been successful with this to a degree that they're moving the ball, but obviously the penalties are setting them back.
3rd and 17 now, the ball on the 46-yard line, and no longer in 4-down territory. Delay of game.
One of the benefits of having a full complement of officials here, there's a lot of whistles.
Well, you like to think they can see everything. Or maybe wish they couldn't on a day like today. Becomes 3rd and 22. And it's a run to Elowich. And just nothing doing. Very enthusiastic and very, very large crowd here on the Thornton Academy side of things. As Elowich will get set to punt. And it's a nice high punt with a nice Portland bounce. Will go out at the 11-yard line. So altogether,
well, we got flags on the play on this one. I think Dogs jumped here on the left-hand side. Yeah, they're going to want to kick that over again. So nothing getting by these officials today, Steve.
And nothing going the Dogs' way right now. So 6 straight penalties on the part of the Dogs. Another nice kick by Zach Elowich. Of course, a much better field position than being on the 11. It looks like yet another flag. And it's another penalty on the Dogs. An illegal shift once again on the Bulldogs, and this is just incredibly frustrating,
and
John.
This is what we talked with Mike about at halftime was, what do? You're down by these many points. Just come out and play some clean football. Mix up some plays, play some clean football, and see what happens.
8 straight penalties on the Dogs. A line drive will go out of bounds at the 33-yard line, where the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 with 6:06 left in the third quarter and a healthy lead. Yeah, so here we go. Braca Monti on his feet. Finally chased out of bounds by Mariba after he gets the first down. He gets a 10-yard carry there. It'll be an 11-yard carry, as it'll be 1st and 10 on the 44. Too far, and that was intended for Braca Monti on the left.
Pass intended for Braca Monti, incomplete.
This is the Bulldogs' 3rd appearance in a state championship game in 4 years. They were defeated by Thornton Academy 4 years ago. Bonnie Eagle 3 years ago. Out of it last year as Wyndham was handily beaten by Scarborough. And then they're in it again this year. 2nd and 10. Braca Monti looking for room on the outside, and he's going to find it. Finally brought out of bounds by Stasium after once again getting a first down, this time a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, flag on the play, and looks like a hold on the Trojans, which will bring it back. And what a great run. They're doing a great job setting the edge this afternoon, and boy, he's got explosive speed when he gets that real estate in front of him.
Well, it'll be 2nd and 20 as the ball will be played. Oh, actually it won't. It's going to be from the spot of the foul, so So it'll be 2nd and 13, the ball on the 41. Portland is completely discombobulated on that. And it shows about a 5-yard carry on the outside by Ophelia. And actually, he's going to get credit for a 7-yard gain. 3rd and 6, ball spotted on the 48-yard line.
Yeah, the Bulldogs lucky they didn't give up more than that, Steve. You're absolutely right. They're in the midst of their shift, and they were bumping into each other and regrouping.
Gaudette to throw. It's complete to Braca Monti, who is brought down by Trefethan. 10 yards. First down, Trojans. 5.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. 35-7 is the score. The Trojans in command here in the State Class A championship football game here on WPPS TV3. Steve Schwartz and John Kilbride today. Monti looking for room on the outside, and he's finally brought out by Mariba. Mariba has saved more than one touchdown today.
Yeah, nice job by Mariba. Such explosive speed, and once he gets that edge, his quick feet. This is the first time I have laid eyes on him, and I am just blown away with the quickness of his feet and how he can redirect himself immediately with that explosive speed. He's small in stature, but just explosive speed.
150 pounds. That was an 11-yard carry. 1st and 10 on the 31. Gaudette to throw up the middle. Oh my goodness, to Braca Monti. 31-yard touchdown reception. His 3rd touchdown of the day. 2 of them by virtue of receptions, 1 by virtue of a punt return. If Barnes makes this extra point, I dare say we'll be in running time.
Yeah, the man coverage, Stasium, he just gets Stasium tied up in his own feet and cuts on the out pattern and wide open. And a spectacular pass.
I mean, that was shades of Edelman coming right over the middle.
Yeah, that's exact same route, and he was just able to get Ben's feet tied up and turned him around, and he was wide open.
This time it took a little longer into the quarter before anybody scored, and about 7 minutes into it here, the Trojans draw first blood in the second half, 42-7. Some level here today. We might expect to see some other players come in, some underclassmen, and get a chance to play for Thornton. Here's Stasium, who picks it up at about the 8. Goes straight up the middle. There's a flag on the play as he's brought down by Derek Medore and company, and it's going to be a hold on the Dogs.
Well, we said that we wanted to see a lot of yellow today, but I think we were referencing the sun. And, the Bulldogs they got their 14 penalties right now, Steve.
It's been something that's hurt them all year. In fairness to the Dogs at this stage of the game, I'm not sure the penalties would have mattered much today. I think they've run into the same Thornton Academy juggernaut that every other team that has played Thornton has had all year. You don't outscore your opponents 505 to 76 by not dominating every facet of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Dogs start deep in their own territory. So Sam Knope is now under center again. And there's a loss as Mariba got the ball. And let's see what the spot is here. It might be a no gain. 2nd and 10. Ball still on the 17-yard line. Elowich gets maybe, let's see, 6. 2nd and 4. The ball on the 23-yard line. And it's 3rd and 4. And, you know, they knew it. And the tackle is Ian Patry. Again, he's had a monster game for the Golden Trojans today. I dare say that about a 4-yard carry. There'll be a measurement, possibly.
Thank you.
They're going to call it a Bulldog first down. Elowich tries to power through. He's going to get a couple on forward progress here. Maybe 4 even, or maybe 3 or 4. Let's see. He's going to get credit for 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Ball on the 31-yard line. Clock ticks down here. It's 2.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 42-7 is the score. The Golden Trojans firmly in command here today. Knope is back to throw, and Jacobson is hit. A perfectly timed defensive play by Athan Geekus.
Geekus, another small, statued young man, and he's having a game. He's broke up some pretty good plays for Poland. And Jacobson, twice his size, really puts a stick on him and breaks up that ball.
Geekus has 2 touchdowns on the year, including a 32-yard punt return. He caught a pass for a touchdown, and he has had at least 2 interceptions this year.
Well, I can see his father jumping up and down. That's you know where he is.
Yeah.
And I think he's a better player than his father, Steve. And I'll go on record with that.
You hear that, Tim? Oh, the yard there. It'll be 4th and 5, and Zach Elowich will kick from the 32. Well, the ball is from about the 34, and it's going to take a Portland bounce as Stasium will down it at Portland's 35-yard line, where the Dogs will come out. We are at running time here. It's 42-7. We'll be back in just a moment. There we go, folks. It is 1st and 10. 18 seconds left here, the 3rd quarter. And number 7, yeah, there's a flag coming in on Koa Farnsworth. It's going to be called either a late hit or a hit to the head. And a dangerous play by Koa Farnsworth, and it was really unnecessary as Kobe Gaudette was down already. That should be a 15-yard penalty against the Dogs. It is the end of the third quarter. The score is 42-7. We'll be back. First and 10, ball on the 45. Again, Portland having trouble on the shift here. However, a great tackle by Koa Farnsworth and Jonah Green finishing the job. Loss of 1. That was a feel you. Second and 11. Gaudette back to throw. It's a wobbly ball and caught by Braca Monti.
Hands and speed. He goes up and gets it. Stasium is stride for stride, but he's able just to put it right in the breadbasket, and what an athlete.
35-yard gain. First and 10 from the 12 for the Golden Trojans.
And they're not taking the foot off the gas pedal at all, Steve.
This time Braca Monti nothing doing as he's brought down by Trefethan. 4-yard loss. Mariba, I guess, in on that as well. Don Atkinson is doing the announcing here today. It's an MPA contest. It's their game.
Which was established early on when we came in here.
That's right. And we are grateful, however, for the accommodations that the MPA has given us today. Nice play by Grant Jacobson, but the referees want a flag as Ophelia was in the grasp of Jacobson, and Jacobson didn't let go. But it's a loss. Let's say it's a loss here. It's 3rd and 15. The ball's on the 17, and Don Atkinson, of course, who does a lot of the Deering games and has a wonderful voice. We're not used to our friend Peter Gribben not being there, and we're in the Peter Gribben box today, after all.
Well, he's waving to us right now, so we can wave back to him. He's seen us somewhere. Oh, there he is. A legend in himself.
Absolutely. Watch out, Ophelia on the right side. He's brought down by Ben Levine, who saved a score. About a 10-yard gain, though, so it'll be, I guess, 4th and 5 here. They're going to call it 4th and 7. The ball is on the 8-yard line. And Thornton, of course, will go for it. See what is up the sleeve of Gaudette and company. He's going to throw to the right side. And a touchdown, Braca Monti. 8-yard reception. 4th touchdown.
Yeah, Braca Monti, he is covered in grease. I mean, they just cannot wrap him up today. And they tied him up. And they had a second defender coming in, couldn't finish him off. And he's able to break away and bring it in for another score for TA.
So Forbes set to kick. It's up and it is through. It is 49-7 with 8:47 left in this contest. So Forbes set to kick off. He's getting a workout today. It's picked up by Elowich. We'll gain a few. Here we go, folks. It is 1st and 10 on the 28th. Yard line, and Elowich will gain a few here as they'll bring it up to about the 32. Gains 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Elowich in that position of taking the direct snap. Thornton not fooled. As number 33 Palmer gets credit for that tackle. Limping off now is Artu Topola. Coming in to replace him will be Ben Roberts, a junior. Here with running time, 6:45 left in this contest. 49-7 is the score. 3rd and 8. And again, nothing doing, as in first was number 6 for Thornton, who we think is Colby Bolduck. I'm not 100% sure of that. The clock mercifully ticks down here, John. 49-7.
Yeah, I know. And the Bulldogs just trying to get a first down and stick with what they're doing. And
yeah, so 4th and 4, and they're going to go for it. And they're going to call the same play that they've been calling. And let's see. This time, Zach Elowich is going to run it in for a touchdown. No flags. "62-yard touchdown for Zach Elowich." Another bright light in what has not been a great day. They're going to get credit actually for a 66-yard touchdown. So 67 and 66 on the day. Again, the only bright spot maybe.
Yeah, we're up here analyzing why they doing this and why they doing that, and this was the only thing that was working for him is Zach Elowich. He's been their guy all year long, and they just couldn't get big plays like that as much as they needed, and good for Zach.
So this is a kickoff. It goes out of bounds, and nothing is going the Dogs' way today. There are 2 flags on the play. So we know it went out of bounds. John, later on today, your brother and my friend Tom Kilbride will be an official on the Class B championship game here at Fitzpatrick Stadium.
Yeah, they're scraping the barrels for officials, Steve, if they're pulling him up.
I don't think so. Now, that's a nice defensive play. Let's see who the lead in on that was. Mariba. It's a loss of 1.
Hopefully he brings his glasses, Steve. He hasn't been bringing his glasses lately to the football games, based on what I've been seeing.
Look, Tom Kilbride can do no wrong in my eyes. He taught me so much about coaching young people in baseball. Had the good fortune of working with him for 6 years. And in turn, when I became an umpire, he would come and do some games with me without any training. He knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, he's a very smart man, and like to call him my brother. I will root on where I can, but I can't take that away from him.
2nd and 11. Ball on the 35. And going the other way is Braca Monti. And he had to get back by Elowich, and he barely did. Elowich brought him out of bounds. There's a flag on the play. It's a 14-yard gain, but there's going to be a hold, so it's going to come back. Have I thanked the MPA for our accommodations today, John?
You have several times, Steve, and they've been wonderful to us here. And we actually had to have them turn the heat down, and I can't drink another cup of coffee, so they've very accommodating.
But we are very grateful for the opportunity to be in this booth and to have our agreement with the MPA. We're on a 3-day delay before we can show the game. So the game is also on NFHS, which is a subscription service, and that's live. Watch out, Braca Monti's got the ball, and now he's off to the races. He's got one to beat us. Conley, Conley had him in his sights, but there's a flag way back at midfield. And we have a holding call. It's all coming back.
Yeah, the fans a little upset here on the Thornton side. I guess 49-14 with 3 minutes left is not good enough, but I think they're a little spoiled.
So 2:38 left, and Thornton Academy has its starting team in still. And a nice tackle by Grant Jacobson of Ophelia, who gets a nice gain. About 32 yards. A little surprising to see Thornton's first team in here, John.
Yeah, I am too, Steve, and I would expect they would probably take a knee right about now, and
Gaudette's still in the gun. Hands it off to Ophelia, and a nice tackle by Grant Jacobson. Look, he's been having a great half here, Grant Jacobson. And the way this is going, with a minute half left and the starters in, still running the ball, you have to wonder what did we do? What did we do to offend you? It may have been the unsportsmanlike. I don't know.
Could have been limited parking trying to get in here. The city of Portland's tough on that. They are charging $10 to park. That could have corked them up. Who knows? The hot dogs, hamburgers aren't really cooked that well.
Why not? Braca Monti. Stasium with a nice tackle right there.
Maybe they're going to call a timeout right now, Steve, and stop the clock.
They are within the last minute, and nevertheless, very deserving Thornton Academy team is going to win the state championship as they ran the table this year, 11-0.
Impressive, and I can see why after today's performance and the many talented players they have on the sidelines, the support system that they have, and the fan base.
So we've got to see what's happening here. They're actually running a play. And Mariba will get the tackle along with whoever is playing number 45 today for Portland, as Portland has some subs in. So, John, the Dogs end the season at 9-2. They had a wonderful season this year. They played very well for much of the season. Today, they just ran into the Thornton Academy juggernaut.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. I mean, such a powerhouse team. We said it earlier. They look like a college team out there. They got a lot of resources, a lot of players, a lot of talent, a big coaching staff, and the Bulldogs gave them everything that they have. And I mean, there are some things that didn't help them. High on penalties and getting a little chippy there towards the end. But what a season for the Bulldogs. They have no excuse to drop their head down whatsoever. They knew who they were facing in here, and they came in with a different game plan because they had to. It just didn't execute well.
Today, the Thornton Academy, just a tremendous game once again by Monti. Anthony Monti had 235 total yards, 4 touchdowns, 147 of them were on receptions, 88 of them were on the rush. Gaudette had, if you take into consideration his sacks and stuff, he had about 147 yards in reception, in pass completions rather, and Opheliu had 113 yards, some random and sundry touchdowns from Thornton, as Dave Levine, our statistician, said. On the other hand, the superlative, as he has been all year for the Bulldogs, was Zach Elowich. Today, he had an unofficial 246 yards on the ground, 2 of those gained with 113 yards totals in terms of 67 and 66-yard touchdowns, and really an all-round great effort by Zach Elowich, who may very well be a Fitzpatrick finalist.
Yeah, I hope so. Great season for him, and the Bulldogs just put it on his back like they've done all season long, and 2 good touchdowns, but that's all they had, and it was just a tough day for them.
That's right, folks. So for John Kilbride, John Coyne at home, for Mike Hoffer, Luke Hill on camera, Dave Levine, Dave Elowich, and all of those who have helped us this year, this is Steve Schwartz for WPPS TV3 Sports saying so long from Fitzpatrick Stadium as the Thornton Academy Golden Trojans defeat the Portland Bulldogs 49-14 in the state Class A championship game. We'll see you next time.